Recording on this computer. Hello, everybody. Welcome to 15 Minutes of Love. For those of you who have never been here before, I am Ilona Pamplona. I'm a self-compassion and clarity coach, and I am excited to, on this fifth week, continue to share experiences that help you tap into the frequency of love, to undo all of the negative vibes and all the fear that we are experiencing in the world today. And I have the extreme I'm like, I want to say honor, I want to say delight. When I think of the frequency of love, Kenlyn is certainly the frequency of love to me. So I'm so excited to have you. Kenlyn, could you introduce yourself to the group, what you do, and your definition of love?
Woohoo! Okay. Hi, everybody. Thank you, Alona. So I'm Kenlyn Kolleen. I am an empowerment and sovereignty mentor and coach. And I got to tell you, I met Alona at a leadership boot camp. I call it boot camp. They don't call it camp, but it's boot camp. And Alona was the one that I picked out in a room of truly the most beautiful human I could lay my eyes on. How many of you agree with me right there? And truly, this 15 minutes of love is really an outpouring of your heart of beauty. So I want to acknowledge you for that and thank you for inviting me. I wrote a book called The Art of Turning 50. Because I believe that midlife women get to midwife transformation in this world. And I'm a stand for that. And I teach also Kundalini Yoga in Encinitas, California. And Alona has been to my class.
It's
So
been amazing.
What's that?
It was amazing. I told everyone that when I was going to go to California, I was going to do Kundalini yoga. And then I met you, and it was you were the guide. So thank you for that.
Totally. It was totally divine. It was amazing having all the crew from my leadership show up at my Kundalini class. It just made it really juicy. And I'm going to bring some of that juiciness here. So my definition of love would be something maybe bigger and broader than what others may have brought. So bear with me here because this is going to be all encompassing. Love is what is. Let's say that again. Love is what is. So the teaching that I want to bring today is about the divine feminine and how many resonate with the divine feminine rising right about now. Yeah. Yeah, it's happening, and women all over who identify with the feminine and inside the masculine, the feminine inside the masculine, are really seeing that this is the time for women to rise. And the reason why I say love is what is because there's a deep teaching from the feminine. And it comes from the mystery school of the feminine. And that is the unseen world, the stuff you don't even know. We think we know, we don't know. And the way to create unity and harmony is to merge with what is, to basically acknowledge, accept, embrace the world as it is. And then when we do that, we have a unity with it. And then what happens is actually magical. It's the mystery. It's the unfolding of something that you may not have ever been able to contemplate. So it starts to look at the world as your friend, not as your enemy. Pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I know a lot of spiritual teachers who talk about that, and it's maybe not a very easy thing to wrap our minds around because it's not from the mind. It's actually rooted in the mystery. It's rooted in something bigger. So that doesn't, I'm an activist, right? I used to work for an organization called Free a Child to fight child sex trafficking. I also volunteer for sanctuaries, animal sanctuaries, and I'm a stand for the humane treatment of animals at all levels. So merging with what is and loving what is does not negate spiritual activism. I would just say that my come from place is actually a different place. And I have had a come from place of anger.
Mm-hmm.
And I have this come from place of unity. Love is what's happening. And I can tell you that my work in the world is more effective when I come from the latter than from the
Yeah.
former. You know, there's a righteous anger too, but when I'm like saying something's wrong, you're wrong, this is wrong, this sucks, it shouldn't be happening, what am I creating? Separation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll let you weigh.
Well, that I love that because that's, a lot of so far the threads that we've created in all of these conversations when I ask a guest what is love, we go into, okay, it's a frequency, okay, it's a feeling. It's something that's in us that we express out. And almost, one of the things that no one's mentioned before is, you know, when you're in that space of love, when you see that everything is love, that we are united in the frequency of love and not in the hate, when we actually access that, we are able, like you said, to see the world not as an enemy. And my experience of the world as a collective is we're always trying to protect ourselves from something, we're always in resistance to something, we're always working against something, which is almost kind of like the premise of what I was doing here. When the COVID started and I was listening to all the news and seeing everyone's Facebook's post, it reminded me of the 2 minutes of hate in 1984, where everyone's like hate, 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 and everyone was separated, and no one understood why. They were just lost in the sea of separation.
Mm.
And it's not until we contribute to the dialogue of love and begin to show and mirror others the access of what looks like and can be that we can actually begin to undo the frequency, the impact, the ripple of the 2 minutes of hate that just happens everywhere.
Yeah, and if we can, I mean, this is a high game, right? If we can even love the polarity, because we live in polarity, we're always going to have contrast. Oh, so if we can love the contrast and still choose who I want to be, because the contrast actually enables my choice to be kind of fun. It's not like plain vanilla here. I'm
Yeah.
be a leader. I'm choosing love. I'm choosing a certain vibration and frequency. And how do I know it? Well, the opposite. That's how we know it.
Yeah.
So we get to love the whole play of form. That's called Leela. The ancients called it Leela, the divine play. And there's a thing outside of the whole. What holds the whole play? What holds duality? What holds the separation is the oneness.
Mm.
Gotta love paradox if you're going to be in this business.
Right, right. And it's so funny that you said that you have to be able to love or accept the polarity, which is funny because I have a Libra stellium. So I have all this Libra, so I can see both sides all the time. Okay, I see the people that are angry and I see the people that are trying to create possibility, and I don't see them as right or wrong. And I see people willfully choosing to say, no, these people are right, no, these people are wrong, no, I'm doing the right way, wrong way, instead of just being like, oh, this is how they're expressing their understanding of the connection to this experience, and without judgment, just, okay, that's how they're choosing to understand this, and that's great. Might not be for me, but it's for not, that's how they're doing it, and allowing them to experience the full range of what that's going to mean for them.
Yeah, and totally, you know what? You can just smile too, because the mystery will get a hold of them and even use them. And they'll produce so many unintended consequences Like I remember researching, I love wolves. I don't know if you love wolves, but I love wild wolves. And I was researching how when the United States brought some wolves, wild wolves, into Yellowstone and let them go, there was somebody had a temporary restraining order against them because they were like they hated wolves. But it was so funny. I can't remember all the details, but there was an unintended consequence, and that very temporary restraining order actually sealed that there would be wolves in Yellowstone. So we don't know. We don't
Right.
know. I mean, then that I'm going to bring you guys today the Mudra. And so I'm teaching a course for free on my Facebook group page. Some of my sisters are here.
Yes, I
But
see Catherine. Rachel's here.
oh, good. Yay,
Catherine's
sister.
saying, yeah, Catherine's saying she loves paradox too since the first time she heard the word.
Yeah, you have to love paradox. That's a whole portal into divine mystery. So I'm teaching a mudra series. I did the Divine Feminine Summit earlier in the year, and
Amazing. Guys, you have to check it out.
thank you, thank you. And we brought the High Priestess. So Alona and I have an inside joke of calling each other the High Priestess. And today I did the mudra, which is a hand gesture. Like you're probably familiar with this, or like this, or like this. Yeah, mudras are like shorthand prayers. They're ways that we can pray through our words, we can pray through our actions and our being, and we can also pray and invoke through an ancient mudras. Like you see symbols sometimes of in paintings. I think even that you'll see
Mm,
some old depictions of symbols. Those are mudras that are evoking a particular energy, and they deal with the meridian lines. And so I made up mudras. Actually, like they came to me. I didn't like sit down and think about it. They just came to me spontaneously for each of the archetypes in my Divine Feminine Summit. And today is the mudra of the High Priestess. And this teaching that we're in right now, the High Priestess is the mystery. She is the space in between the end and the beginning.
mm.
What if we were in High Priestess space right now, everybody? Like the end, we actually came to the end of a 7-year cycle just last week. This is in the mandala of the gene keys. We've ended a 7-year cycle and we're beginning another. So that liminal space where we haven't gotten our sea legs yet, we don't even know what this is about. We're totally in the unknown. The I Ching calls it difficulty at the beginning.
Oh,
Right? We don't know what we're doing. And
yeah.
we're like grabbing onto the past and we want to carry it forward. And guess what? That won't work.
It's not gonna.
It's not going to. All that stuff is done. So we have to use our own bodies as the information to receive the codes for what is coming forward. Do you want to say something? You're like, oh, your body
No,
is
I'm just
off.
like, I'm ready. I'm ready to receive because I love when you said, we don't know what we're doing. I felt that so much because I'm sure you've heard the buzzword pivot, 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 because no one knows what they're doing. And when I think of pivot, it's like, I don't know, turn around. I don't know, turn this way. I don't know, let's go this way. And I feel like that is the energy of what's happening. And I love it. And there are a lot of people who are like really resisting it.
Yeah. Well, here's a new way. Okay, so the pivot, when you did that, it felt frenetic to me. And I get that. So maybe we don't want to be frenetic. Maybe instead, what we want to be is silent,
Mm.
still. So there's stillness, silence, and solitude. Those seem to be in order during lockdown. So, like, say we have stillness, silence, and solitude. I'm that way even when I'm doing stuff because I like to be in movement, but I'm still on the inside. That's where I receive these teachings.
Mm.
And what if your pivot isn't frenetically looking around like you're in fight or flight, but you're in a deep sense of allowing?
Love it.
Is the mystery school that we're talking about of the High Priestess.
Beautiful.
Do you want to learn the mudra before
I'm
we?
ready.
we end?
Who's ready? I'm ready.
Ready? Who wants to know a mudra? Well,
Woo!
we're doing 23 of them. This is one. So the goddesses fall into different, like there's the dark goddesses. We haven't gotten to Kali yet. We've got the ass-kicking warrior goddesses. And then we have the mystery goddesses. And the High Priestess is part of the mystery. And when the divine feminine is rising through you and me, we are bringing in a new energy. And the energy is this place from the unknown.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the mystery. It's not linear. We can say we think we know what's going to happen and we can have a position about it, but we should just laugh at ourselves even while we're saying it, because we know that's not going to be it. So when we want to evoke the High Priestess, we're going to do this. We're going to take our fingertips of the index finger and the middle finger, and we're going to put them together. And then we're going to touch our thumb tips. Okay. So you're kind of like, it looks like a spade. Do you see that?
Oh, it looks like a spade. Got it.
Yeah, I don't know if my spade, there it is. That looks like a spade. And
awesome.
We're going to put the spade in front of our heart. Because the spade always represents this spiritual illumination. It represents the other realm, the mystery realm, the unseen world. So we're going to close our eyes and just take a nice breath. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. And relax into your High Priestess. Calling her in, connecting with her through the mudra of this spade in front of your heart center. And being in stillness and silence and solitude will help you receive the downloads. And then bring your hands into prayer pose at your heart. Take a little bow. And there you are.
That was amazing. I just want to check to see if anyone had any comments or any questions about the High Priestess. As we wrap this episode of 15 Minutes of Love, there's just a lot of comments about how people met you. Like Catherine said that she met me at a Cardiff coffee shop and you during boot camp, that we were everywhere. and Ray is saying hi, Ray Goldstein. So yeah, our people are here. Our God, our High Priestesses are here. Kenlyn, this has been powerful, and what comes up for me is being in your presence, hearing you speak. Your High Priestess wisdom comes through, and there are people that come in with knowledge and information, and you get really psyched, and I feel like I get psyched, but I have a wave of peace. Like, I'm not like frenetic like you said before. So I appreciate you bringing in this knowledge to bring love and then bring that wave of peace that we all need right now. So thank you, High Priestess. I love you so much.
Welcome, High Priestess. Let's all channel our inner High Priestess this weekend and see what happens.
Yeah, and real quick, where can people find you?
Well, my website is kenlynkolleen.com, and I have a free practice to clear and clean your aura and your arc line. That's a practice to get into your radiance so things are not so difficult. And if you join us in the Divine Feminine Summit 2020, that's our Facebook group page, and we do our mudra teachings every day at 10 a.m. Pacific time.
Awesome. Well, you feel free to drop in those links so that anyone who's watching the replay and who's watching now can find you and join your magical, magical wisdom teachings and energy. Thank you, my friend. And thank you everyone for watching. Remember, until next time, only love is real, everybody. Bye.